the defendant's pit bull bit your daughter.
Yes, Your Honor.
A vicious pit bull attack.
I was riding my bike, and then the dog went out and grabbed me.
How many stitches did you need?
26.
That's quite a bad scar.
Now, this pet owner
It's her fault because she shouldn't have been trying to pet the dog.
is in Judge Judy's doghouse.
If she was attempting to pet your dog, then the bite would have been on her arm.
Judge Judy.
Daughter,
Yes, ma'am.
the defendant has a pit bull, right? Excuse me, Bird. Could you ask this young lady to either get a sweater or to get out? It's a courtroom.
A little improper decorum. You can find a sweater, you can come back in.
Now, it is your complaint, Ms. McGee, that the defendant's pit bull bit your daughter. The defendant does not deny that his pit bull bit your daughter, but he said it was her fault.
Correct.
Okay. Tell me your first name.
Rosemary?
Rosemary, do you remember when this happened?
Yes.
Tell me when.
It was July 20th at approximately 12:30.
In the afternoon?
Yeah.
Would you feel more comfortable talking to me up here, or you want to stay near your mom?
There.
Come on.
Okay.
Okay. Drop your papers. Want me to hold them for you?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, July 20th, where were you?
I was riding my bike across the street from my house by the thrift store wall.
And did you see the defendant and his dog?
Yeah.
Tell me what happened.
I was riding my bike, and then I stopped. He was with a painter that was painting the wall, and I stopped and I asked the painter what he was painting, and he said he was writing.
He was writing?
Yeah, he was writing. And then they both started laughing, and then so I started riding my bike, and I pedaled like 3 or 4 times, and then the dog like went out and grabbed me.
Where did the dog grab you?
Right here on my leg.
On your leg?
Yeah. And I fell off my bike, and I was screaming. They pulled the dog off of me. And
The defendant and the painter?
yeah, and another guy. And then he asked me if he wanted to carry me, and I said no. So I hobbled to the I hopped on this leg to the closest stairs by a building, and I sat there screaming and crying, and my friend went to go get my mom, and my mom was like really worried and stuff, and he kept saying he's sorry, and then all these people were watching, and they were like, what happened? And he said that I was trying to touch the dog and get close to him and like petting him and stuff, but I didn't even look at him or anything.
Did you have to go to the hospital?
Yeah, he called the ambulance on his cell phone.
He did.
Yeah.
Did the ambulance come?
Yeah, in like 45 minutes.
How many stitches did you need?
26.
Do you have a scar on your leg?
Yeah.
I would like to see it, so I'm going to come down,
Okay.
unless I can see it from here. That's quite a bad scar.
Yeah.
Did you see the scar on her leg?
I haven't seen it, no, ma'am.
Why don't you go stand next to your mom?
Okay. And there are the pictures when I got stitches if you want to see them.
Why don't you take a look at her leg? Because you should be able to see what I see. Okay, Mr. Granados, I read your answer. Why don't you tell me your version of what happened?
It's pretty much the same story, Your Honor. Besides that, she did try to pet the dog.
How did you try to pet the dog, Mr. Granados?
He was confined. He was on a leash,
Yes.
a 2-foot leash, which I was holding him the whole time. He was laying down next to the wall in the sidewalk, and she drove her bike up to both of us.
Where you were standing with the painter. By the way, what was the person painting?
A mural over some gang graffiti.
So she drove up and she said to the painter, "What are you painting?"
Correct.
Did anybody answer her?
I believe my friend answered her yes.
And what did the friend say?
A mural.
Is that what he said?
He said it's writing.
Writing.
Yeah.
At what point did she attempt to pet the dog?
Prior to that, she had rode her bike back and forth. So I really don't know exactly how many times she rode by, but around right after she had talked. It happened really quick.
No,
so-
I'm trying to picture this in my mind, sir. She's on her bicycle.
Okay.
She's a little girl on her bicycle.
Correct.
See, if she was attempting to pet your dog, then the bite would have been on her arm. If she was on her bike, pedaling away, that is consistent with the injury that she has, because it's a bite mark to the back of her leg. So you explain to me how she was bitten when she attempted to, much better. Sit down.
I'll explain
When
it to you.
she attempted to pet your dog, explain to me how she was bitten.
Okay. She was sitting on the bike. She reached over her bike to pet the dog. Her leg is closer to the dog than her arm is. She never got a chance to actually pet the dog. I had him on the leash, though, so I pulled him away like, no, you know, because I was surprised that she was actually trying to pet the dog.
Why?
Because she didn't know the dog. She didn't know if it's a, I have a,
Okay,
he's a
so
big
you
dog.
pulled the dog away,
I pulled him away.
right? And then she went to pedal away.
No, that's not how it happened.
Well, if you pulled the dog away, how did she end up with that scar on her leg?
Like I just said, when she reached over to pet the dog, he snapped at her. He bit her.
Good.
So
Whose
that's
fault
what
is that?
happened. I believe it's her fault because she shouldn't have been trying to pet the dog. I had him on the leash. So
I don't believe she was trying to pet the dog, sir.
Well, that's,
I don't believe
you
you.
believe.
Don't believe you this much.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. 10-year-old Rosemary McKee says she was bitten by Damian Granado's pit bull. Damian says Rosemary startled the dog.
She's on her bike. The injury that she sustained is totally consistent with the story that she tells, that she stopped, asked a question, and you and your friend laughed, and then she was
No laughing.
pedaling away. She was pedaling away, and your dog just went for her leg. I don't buy this leaning over to try to pet the dog. If she's leaning over to try to pet the dog, that dog would have bit her on the arm, her hand, not the back of her leg. It's totally inconsistent with common sense. Were you there?
No.
So what are you doing here?
I came to pick the dog up. I'm a roommate
You came to pick the dog up from where?
from the scene.
So?
I had called her because I had called the animal control people right after I called the paramedics.
Yeah?
Because I was scared, you know. I was scared. I didn't know what to do with the whole situation. So I called the paramedics first, and I called the animal control, and they said, come remove the dog. You know?
I mean, she didn't try to torment your dog with a stick. She didn't kick your dog.
No, she didn't.
Even if I believed you, which I don't. She didn't try to torment, she didn't kick, she didn't scream, she didn't yell, right?
No, I think the bike actually is what scared the dog.
Well, that's what's in the street. Bicycles, cars, things. You know.
Man,
If you have a
he was
pit bull, then you
confined.
get a muzzle. If you have a pit bull, you get a muzzle. Aren't there other breeds of dogs that perhaps you might be interested in?
Well, the animal control people said it's not safe to have your muzzle on a dog because it restrains his breathing, and he's never had any prior attacks. So I had never.
Now he has had one. She
Yeah,
has to be compensated. She's got a scar that's going to last
had-
for the rest of her life.
Correct.
Yeah? So
Correct.
what kind of compensation did you offer her? Did you offer to pay her medical bills?
Yes, I did. I called the mother after I gave her all my information, my phone number.
Is that true?
No, ma'am. He has never called me.
You mean from the time this incident happened in July and your daughter was taken away by ambulance, he has not called you to inquire as to how she is?
Yes, Your Honor. He has never called to any concern at all, other than the fact that his pit bull might be put to sleep. That was his only concern.
Well, how did he relay that concern to you?
He was just about crying while he was on the cell phone while we were waiting for the ambulance.
After that, after your daughter was taken away by ambulance,
He has never called.
still have the dog?
Correct.
I assume you spoke to a plastic surgeon?
Yes, ma'am.
When does the plastic surgeon indicate that they may be able to make some headway with regard to correcting the scar that she has?
Well, that would be 6 months to a year, which would include scar revisal, which would include removing the scar 3 times and sewing it back together.
Why in the world, Mr. Granados, would you keep a dog that you know is capable of inflicting this kind of injury over, if I believed you, which I don't, over a child coming over just to pet your dog? Why would you keep a dog like that?
Prior to that, I did not know he was capable of any type of injury. We have kids at our house, and
You have kids at your house?
correct. And
How
to
many
this
kids
day,
do you have at your house? house?
Well, just her nephew comes over once or twice a week.
Oh, you're an idiot. Judgment for the plaintiff and the amount requested, $5,000. That's all.
Thank
Parties
you, Your
are
Honor.
excused. You may step out.
The police would not come because the dog was leashed.
Honestly, I'm devastated. If that happened to my nephew, if the dog ever did that.
The animal department would not come because after the attack, the dog was put into a car and contained.
I mean, they had somebody from the city come to the house, and they said the house was safe and secure.
And they interviewed the dog.
Judge Judy has finally let my daughter Rosemary have a little justice.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Arvizu versus Lawrence, step forward, please.
36-year-old police officer Edward Arvizu claims Deborah Lawrence's daughter, 14-year-old Autumn, made unauthorized phone calls on his calling card.
Mr. Arvizu, you have a daughter,
Yes, I do.
and the defendant has a daughter,
Yes.
and your two girls were best friends
Yes.
for a long time. For how long?
About 8 years.
And then I gather that there was a time when your nephew, who lived out of state, came to visit you for a while.
Yes, it was early of April this year.
And the defendant's daughter sort of developed an attachment for your nephew.
Yeah, I believe so.
And then he went back home.
Yes.
What state do you come from?
Arizona,
And what state does nephew come from?
California.
After he went home, you got a whopping telephone bill.
Yes, I did.
$1,042.42. Is that right?
Yes, it is.
So did you call a phone company and
I noticed that I recognized all of the numbers.
whose numbers were they?
The originating number was from my sister's house, where my nephew lives, and
What were these, collect calls or
calling card.
calling card?
Yes.
Oh, so somebody got a hold of your calling card.
Yes.
Go ahead.
The numbers that the calls were placed to were also familiar. My daughter said, "That's Autumn's number, Dad." So
That's Autumn.
Yes.
So what did you do next?
I called my sister, sent her a copy of the bill. She was not happy, but was willing to accept the responsibility. And I also did the same thing with Autumn's mother, sent her a copy of the bill. She
I was
told
never
me,
mailed a copy of the bill.
she told me that I got a call back a few days later that she would only accept responsibility for the calls that Autumn made. And at this point on the first bill, it was only like $12.96.
Okay. Well, that would be fair, to only accept responsibility for the calls that Autumn made. But then you got another bill.
Yes.
What was the next bill?
$1,451.40.
And how much of that bill is attributed to phone calls that Autumn made?
I only have it figured out with tax and from the prior month. For the second month, $1,349.35.
So she made all the calls
Yes.
next month, plus $1,296.
Yes.
So $1,352.31.
When their nephew came to visit, a crush happened for both of them. It wasn't just one. She was 13, he was 17. Their son drove the nephew home, and apparently the son had left his wallet there because he had expressed to Autumn he needed to mail it back. How he got the PIN number, I do not know. But the calls originated from him. When he spoke to my daughter, he said, "Call me at this number," and
He gave her a calling card.
well, he didn't give
gave
her
her
a
the-
card. He gave her
the
a
number.
card number and a
Okay,
pen number.
Autumn, did you recognize the number on that card?
At first.
You've called that number many times over the last 8 years, isn't that right? Because your friend lives there,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
So you realize that card had the same telephone number as your friend, as the Arvizus, right?
Yes.
Who'd you think was going to pay for that?
I didn't think about it at
Right, you didn't think about it. That's the
when
bottom line of it.
When he gave her the number and the pen number, the only calling cards that Autumn has ever had are the ones that you buy in stores. The pen numbers are not attached. They're ones that you create. And he told her this was, you make your own PIN number. You make your own, you have the number, but you don't have a PIN number. You make your own.
So what?
He told her it was his
So what?
and that this was okay, and that when she asked how many minutes were on it, he said unlimited.
Did you have that whole conversation with him?
Yes.
You see, 13-year-olds are very
Right.
smart, Ms. Laurent. 13-year-olds are so smart when it comes to these numbers. They know all about that.
No, they don't. No,
Yeah,
at
they
least
do.
not my daughter does not.
Well, who do you think should pay this $1,349.35? Him?
No, I think that the nephew should.
He's 17. He's not responsible to pay anything.
He is the one who got the number. There is no way that
Listen.
she could have.
Listen to me.
She would
Listen
not
to me.
have done anything that would have caused somebody to pay a lot of money.
Responsibility. She lives in your house, right?
Yes, she does.
Did she use your telephone to call him?
Yes, she did.
To call him. How much of a phone bill did you get?
Because he gave her a number for a calling card that was prepaid.
Answer my question. Did she use your telephone?
Yes, she used my telephone.
But she did not bill it to you.
No.
And that's because she knows that calling costs money.
Yes. But
You know how long you have to sit on the phone to work up a bill of $1,362.31? A very, very long time.
Yes.
Now, in the second month, most of those calls came from her.
Well, he would page her on her pager using the calling card, and then she would return the call.
Your Honor, I have the bills here that show how many times she called. The times are on the bill.
Oh, she called him and sat on the phone with him, right?
Yes.
Is this the nephew?
Yes, it is.
Step up here. What's your name?
Brandon.
Where'd you get the card from?
I found it on the floor in my cousin's room.
And you knew it was
Just
the
the
wrong
number,
thing to
though.
do to have it, right?
No, I didn't find the card. I just found the number.
The number.
Yeah, it was written down on a piece of paper.
So what'd you use it for?
At the time, I wasn't thinking.
Well, you weren't thinking a lot.
Pretty much.
What happened in the second month? You stopped calling so much.
I just didn't call. I just paged her, and then she'd call me back.
Why?
I don't know. I just got...
What do you mean you don't know?
I didn't...
Did you get in trouble with your mother?
No.
Did your mother say anything about the first bill?
The
No.
second bill did not show up until, wasn't even knowledgeable until after they had stopped making calls because of the way that they mail out the bills. There was no knowledge of a second month until after the calls had stopped.
You have to accept responsibility for what your daughter did.
My daughter didn't do anything intentionally. She trusted this boy. He told her it was a calling card number that was prepaid.
What? So what?
She
He's
would
the
never
innocent.
have done it. She would never have used it because she adores this family. She's known
What
them for
grade are you
many
in
years.
school?
9th.
How do you do in school?
Good.
Let me hear what was your grade last semester in math?
A.
What was your grade in English?
A.
What was your grade in social studies?
A.
So you're not stupid.
No.
No, but
Judgment for the
naive to
plaintiff in the
world.
amount of $1,362.31. Don't avoid responsibility. It's
I
a
was
very,
not avoiding
very
it.
bad lesson and message to send to your daughter.
No, it was
That's
a
all.
bad
Parties are
message for him.
excused. You may step out.
We both knew what we were doing. I paid for my share of this stuff, so I thought it was fair.
He had told me that it was his and I trusted him.
I think
Harassing calls. You decided that you needed some protection, so you got a dog.
Yes.
It is your claim that the defendant, in retaliation for something, enticed the dog onto her property and subsequently adopted the dog. You want the dog returned to you?
Correct.
Or its value?
Yes.
Okay. How long have you lived in the same neighborhood?
About 1.5 years, 2 years.
Is that how you know her, from the neighborhood?
Yes.
When did you get the dog?
The 15th of March.
Where did you get the dog?
I used to be a dog groomer by trade, and one of my former customers asked me to take her because her daughter had very severe allergies. I had to get rid of the animals, unfortunately.
What kind of dog is it?
She's a Dalmatian Black Lab mix.
She's a mutt.
Yes.
So you took the dog?
Yes.
Didn't pay for the dog, but you
No,
took
ma'am.
the dog. Where did you put the dog when you brought the dog home?
We tied the dog outside in the front because we were having a lot of harassment problems.
Is it a fenced yard?
Not in the front, no.
What was she tied with?
She was tied with a brand new chain and collar and that we bought her before we bought.
Did the dog have a license on the collar?
No.
So that there was no identifying mark on the collar?
No.
What time did you come home from picking up the dog?
About 5:30, 6 o'clock.
And what time did you find the dog missing?
I didn't put her out until about 9:30.
At 9:30 you found the dog missing.
Yes.
What did you do?
First, We went out searching for her all over the neighborhood. And my husband said, she's probably down at Cindy's. At first, I didn't think Cindy would, go that low, but she did. And we made signs, and we put the signs out early the next morning. My husband...
Where did you put out the signs?
On the telephone poles, one being right beside her home, and another one down the street, and all up and down Galbraith Road, which is the off street from where we go to.
Okay.
I called the SPCA, who had told me that the dog wasn't there yet. I have a lost dog report where I filed the lost dog report that morning.
To see it, please.
I also got a copy of the sheltered animal report. When I went to go to the SPCA on the first day, the very next morning at 10 o'clock, the animal was not there yet. It wasn't until 1:35 until the animal was picked up by Cindy. She called the SPCA.
Sure, we'll get to her in a second. Okay, now how did you find out the dog was with Miss West?
My daughter went to a local pharmacy around the corner from where we live, which views the backyard of Mrs. West's home. She came in crying, saying that Lacey was in Cindy's backyard. So we went back in the back alley.
When was this? How many days
that
later?
was a week. It was on the 28th.
Okay.
I said, okay, let's go make sure, Ripley. I said, because, we want to make sure before we call the police.
Okay, so the answer is, was your dog, and did you call the police?
Yes, ma'am, we did.
Called the police, you went to her home with the police?
Yes, ma'am, we did.
And she showed the police the adoption papers because she had since adopted this dog?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Ms. West, when did you find this dog?
On the evening of the 15th, had to be about 11:30 at night. It was running freely through the neighborhood. I have a videotape where this dog ran, in an hour and 15 minutes, it ran 17 times through my yard.
Why would you videotape this dog?
I have a security camera on my house because this woman continually harasses me.
Is it on all the time?
Yes.
Go ahead.
And I called the SPCA. It was running out in the street, back and forth in the yard. And I opened the door and I said, "Hey, puppy," and the dog walked right in my house. Then, I believe it was Monday, I had called to see if the owner had claimed the dog, and they said that no one had called for the dog, and I went down to see her. Owner has 5 days to claim. I waited 6, and then I went with my son and adopted the dog.
Did you see any signs that Miss Ellison put up in your neighborhood?
No, that's a complete lie.
You didn't see? No,
No.
I don't know whether it's a complete
Well,
lie or
I didn't
not.
see any.
The answer is you did not see
No,
any
I didn't see
signs.
any.
Okay. Now let's get to your counterclaim for a minute.
Okay.
Your counterclaim is that the plaintiff vindictively called Protective Services, uncross your arms, called Protective Services and said things about you with regard to your children, causing your children to be removed from your custody for over 3 weeks.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so I'd like you to tell me about that, because that's your counterclaim.
Yes. In the period when we were friends, there were several times that she stipulated to me that no matter what happened, not to call 241 Kids because she runs a very filthy household. And so we had agreed to that. If we hadn't, I'd have called Children's Services before she did. But I give my word,
I don't want to hear
it.
you. Go ahead.
On March 1st, Children's Services knocked on my door, claiming that they had got a report for a filthy house. Supposedly there was garbage in my house up to here, that I beat my kids, that I didn't feed my kids, and several other allegations.
Okay.
And my children were removed from me until there was a parental screening done.
Just a second. That's not what Protective Services does. They don't come in, remove children for 3 weeks while they do an investigation. When they receive a report, they come in and they say, "Can we come into your house?" And they come in and they make certain observations. So if they came into your house, they must have found your house filthy.
No.
Did they speak to your children?
Yes.
And it was at that time that they removed the children?
My children weren't actually...
Answer. Was it at that time that they removed the children?
They were placed under a safety agreement.
Okay. So they allowed the children to remain in your home under an agreement with you. Is that right?
No.
With whom?
My children were not allowed to be left alone with me whatsoever. I either had to have someone stay with me or they had to go to my mother's.
Okay, so they were allowed to stay with you if there was someone else in the house. And that was after they spoke to the children.
It was...
After they spoke to the children.
No.
Wrong.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Elizabeth Ellison says neighbor Cynthia West stole her dog in retaliation for calling child services. Cynthia is countersuing for defamation of character.
When was the agreement entered into that you would not be left unsupervised with your children?
On March 1st.
So this is before the dog disappeared. Was there an investigation?
Was there an investigation?
That's my question.
Yes, I have an open case.
So your case was not marked unfounded. It is still an open case.
I can explain to you why.
Just answer my question.
Okay, yes.
The case was not marked unfounded, which means that there was no merit to the claims. It was an open case, which means it's still outstanding and subject to investigation.
It'll be closed the end of this month.
Who knows?
I do.
Do you have any reports from social services?
That's confidential information. It would have to be subpoenaed.
So that you don't have them?
Exactly.
Do you have any initial reports that were furnished from social services?
Those are not public information.
Okay. Is this the first time that social services has visited your home?
Oh, yes.
The first time?
First. Very first.
Why would you and the defendant talk about not calling social services? I mean, I've had lots of friends in my life. One of the things that we certainly never talked about was never calling social services about how we are as parents. We talked about a lot of other things. We complained about our husbands, the local market, but we never had a discussion about social services. Why would you have an agreement with her not to call social services, Miss West?
That was a stipulation that she set down, not I.
No, it was a stipulation you sat down by
Now,
being
okay,
a drug
just a second.
head.
Miss Ellison, you interrupted again, but I'm going to come back to you for a second. I'm not going to ask you whether or not you placed this call.
It's an anonymous hotline.
It was because it's an anonymous hotline, so I'm not going to ask you whether you did or not. But it is your belief that because she thought that you placed this call, she retaliated by taking the dog.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
I have proof she took the dog.
Let me see.
This is a Coleraine Township Police Department police report. If you would read it, you would see at the bottom, it states that she admitted taking my dog.
Let me see.
And she also knew it was my dog. She told him when she got there, when he got
Don't
there.
tell me what she told him. I'm looking at it.
Sure you don't have a copy of that?
Yes, I do. Thank you.
Okay.
I'm going to give both of you 1, 2, 3, then you're out of here. Do you understand?
Yes.
Did social services come to visit your house?
Yes, ma'am. I have a copy of my
Can I see it, please?
human resource
Because I
thing.
see that after she believed you
You
called
can
on
also,
her.
yes, she did.
She
called on
you.
me.
All right.
May I comment?
Sure.
I did not make that call. I'm not the only person that knows she runs a filthy house.
Okay. All I can tell you is she has this document here, which you clearly do not have, which indicates that her case was immediately closed.
They made a surprise visit, just like her. Sorry.
I like to conduct a very orderly place. Clean, neat, and orderly.
Go ahead.
You don't have this, that your case was closed, is that right?
No, because my case is still ongoing. Would you like for me to answer that why? You had asked me that before.
Sure.
The reason my case is ongoing, part of the social interaction with her and I, we'd smoked marijuana together. I was a recreational user. She
That's
gets
a
high
lie,
all
Judge.
day,
I don't
every
want to
day.
hear.
That's what.
Shh, shh. Listen to me. Case closed. Case still open. That's the objective fact.
Because I admitted to my recreational use is the only reason I have an open case.
Because they caught you at the door, you and that Nicole, your
listen.
witness, smoking a joint.
Listen to me.
And you know what
Don't-
happens in my house, huh?
What? You don't understand? You're going to both be out of here. Well, Miss West, police officer attributes the following to you. She stated that Miss Ellison had her kids taken away, but all she did was take away her dog, Miss Ellison's dog. So she, quote, went pretty light on her. That's what you told the police.
Can I respond?
Yeah, the police don't lie.
Well, no, I'm not going to lie.
Shh. You don't get it. Yes, I'm waiting for you to respond.
Okay. This was after she had come to my backyard and was cussing and hollering that I had her dog, That was the first point at which I was aware that this dog had previously belonged to her. And I did tell them that, but like I said, it was after that she had pointed out to me, "You have my dog," and a few other explicit words mixed in there. But she had pointed that out to me. So at that point, I did know that it was her dog. But that was the first time that I had knowledge of that.
Who knows? Okay.
Nobody tapes the dog in a video yard.
Listen to me. Listen to me. I want you to be quiet.
Okay, you're right. I'm sorry.
I have several things to consider. Right now, the dog has been with you for quite some time. Dog is integrated into your household?
Yes.
And you, I assume, take good care of this dog?
Yes.
Good.
No.
I don't want to hear from you yet. I'm primarily concerned about the dog, the children involved. Right now, she is the legal owner of that dog, and your lawsuit wants either the return of the dog or the value thereof, which you place at $500. Quiet. That's what your lawsuit says.
The lawsuit is for, the $500 is for harassment. We would like to have the dog back. That's all we've ever wanted.
What I'm telling you is, she is now the legal owner of this dog, and I have to make a judgment as to how I'm going to resolve your lawsuit. I believe that there is a substantial possibility that Miss West did, in fact, come to your property, unchain the dog, and take the dog. That is a possibility. It is also a possibility that the dog got free.
I agree.
And was, in fact, roaming around. What she did was she did not secrete the dog. She brought the dog to the ASPCA immediately. You had an obligation to be vigilant and you could go to the ASPCA every day to see if the dog was there. The dog, I'm speaking.
Every day.
I don't care, call. I'm speaking. You had an opportunity to go to the ASPCA every day for day 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Look for your dog. You did not do that. So put your hand down. So since the dog has been in her custody, you had an opportunity to go and pick up your dog. You did not do that. She did not hide the dog. And there is, again, that possibility that your dog did, in fact, get out. Just get out. She probably knew it was your dog. Not sure, but I don't indulge myself in potentials or possibilities. I'm speaking. So I am awarding you $500. Even though you did not pay for this dog, I believe that Miss West knew or should have known that this was your dog and that there was a bit of retaliation in her keeping the dog and not calling you and letting you know that she had found the dog, and that there was something sneaky about the way she went about going there and legally adopting the dog. But she has legally adopted the dog. The dog is hers. It has been with her and her family for a long time.
Okay.
Now, Miss West, I'm going to get to your counterclaim, which I am dismissing. What state do you live in?
Ohio.
The state of Ohio does not remove children from their home without cause for 3 weeks without taking a parent to court. Period. End of discussion. No state does that. The state may say, I'm going to give you a warning, clean up your house, but if the state of Ohio is still part of this union, there are certain due process rights that you have. And if your children were removed from your home, as you state in your claim, as a result of what is an anonymous call, and it may well have been Miss Ellison who called. May well have been. But it doesn't make any difference. She did not remove the children from your home. The state removed the children from your home, which means that they found some cause to remove the children from your home. Since you do not have the paperwork to show me what the cause was, I have to assume.
I do have.
Well, you do have now. Swell.
I do have the paper for the safety agreement. I do not have the letter that she has. I left that at home.
I don't want to hear the letter for the safety agreement. I want a report from the state indicating why they removed the children from your home.
This is what this is.
Well, I'll take a look at it. That
Your
doesn't
Honor.
look like, I don't want to hear from you. You're finished.
Okay, no problem.
Well, they clearly found you using drugs.
I admitted to it. They asked me
Whether
the
you
question.
admitted to it or they found it. One of the stipulations was adults will refrain from all illegal drug use in the home. Who else lives in the home other than you and your 2 children?
My husband. Nicole's staying with us right now.
Excuse me?
Nicole Lake, this lady right here. Her mother left and went to Florida, so she's staying
She
with
was
me.
the one
so
they
she's
found
gonna stay.
doing drugs.
Shh. Don't want to hear you. What are you showing me? I read this already.
In the highlight, it shows that Miss Ellison admitted to being the one who called 241.
What difference does it make? The police had cause. The police had cause to remove your children. They either saw or you admitted to using drug use. And listen to me, Miss West. I'm not stupid. If the authorities came to your home and found nothing untoward in your home, found you perfectly straight,
They did.
making matzo ball soup in your kitchen, right? And you just volunteered to them that you used drugs, volunteered to them, you must think that I was born 2 days ago. That's not what happens. They had evidence. They either found you in a condition of being under the influence, they smelled something in your home, they found something in your home, something happened, and then you admitted that you used drugs. But a normal person doesn't invite authorities into their home and say to them, let me tell you everything. Sometimes my house isn't neat, and sometimes my kids' clothes aren't clean, but the worst thing that I do is use drugs. We understand each other. Your counterclaims dismissed. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $500. That's all.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
I don't understand how I knew the dog was hers when she had it for less than 2 hours, and $500 is an awful lot for a mutt.
She refers to it as a mutt. We refer to it as a human animal.
She's too big of a
Sister did that.
pothead to control her children.
I don't believe that I should be blamed for her being, a rotten mother.
She had jewelry, she had her clothing.
Her family robbed her.
The house had been ransacked.
She originally lied to the police?
Yes.
So why would I believe anything she says?
Her ex-boyfriend tried to kill her.
By pouring lighter fluid on you and setting you on fire.
Now this battered woman
He was in jail for 3 weeks.
He was free on bail.
Yes, ma'am.
wants only one thing: justice.
I'll be there to see it.
Judge Judy.
Judge, you may be seated. Folks, have seats, huh?
Miss Acetella, you had a boyfriend with whom you lived for about 9 years, according to your complaint. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
What was his name?
Leo McCullum.
And you used to be married to Mr. McCullum. Is that right?
Yes, it is.
When were you divorced from Mr. McCullum?
In 92.
And you have children with Mr. McCullum.
Yes, I do.
How many children do you have?
I have 4 of my own natural children and 1 that I raised from his previous marriage.
Did Mr. McCullum ever have custody of his children?
Yes, at one time, yes.
When he was living with the plaintiff?
Yes, part of the time. Since 96, he had custody.
Which child or children lived with you?
Danielle, Samantha, and Joanna.
So 3 of the girls lived with you. Now, according to your complaint, Mr. McCullum attempted to murder you by pouring lighter fluid on you and setting you on fire. Mr. McCullum is currently incarcerated, serving a term of 30 years to life. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
How long were you hospitalized?
A total of 4 months.
While you were in the hospital, it is your claim that the defendant came to the home that you had shared with Mr. McCullum and took all of the property out of the house.
Yes, ma'am.
When you returned home, there was very little there.
I never returned.
Did you ever go back to see what was in the house?
No, ma'am.
Well, how do you know she took your property?
This is my witness. I'd like for her to come up, please.
Okay, well, we may not even have to get to your witness. Mrs. McCullum says that all the property that was in that house belonged to her former husband, and she was entitled to take it. Is that right?
No, Your Honor. I never took anything from the house other than my children's belongings. And I have my daughter, Danielle, who lived at the house at the time that this terrible thing happened. And she can verify as to what Mrs.
So it's
Costello.
your position that you took nothing from the house except your children's clothing?
That's right.
Okay, now I'll hear your witness. Would you step up, please? Tell me your name.
Terry Way.
Miss Way, tell me what you know about the plaintiff's property.
Well, I know that they lived together for almost 10 years, and they acquired furniture. She had jewelry. She had her clothing.
Did you ever see the defendant take any furniture from the house?
I did not actually see her take it, no, ma'am.
So how do you know she has it?
I went there 3 days after she was in the coma to get her belongings from the house and saw that the house had already been ransacked. And there was only 3 people that had keys to the house: Leo, who was in jail, Piper, who was in the coma, and the children. So the children, maybe Paula, I didn't see them actually take it, but they're the only ones that had access to the house to get those belongings.
Did you have to use a key to get into the house?
I didn't actually get into the house. I saw it through the windows.
Did you try to get into the house?
Yes, I did.
Was the door locked?
Yes, it was.
What floors could you see from the window where you were looking?
Mostly the living room and the kitchen.
And had you been to the house before?
Yes, I had.
So what kind of furniture had been there in the living room previously?
There was a couch and a love seat, dining room set. That's all I can think of at the time.
And all of that was gone?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. I'm with you, Miss Heyer.
Okay. First off, I'd like to call my daughter Danielle for a witness. The first time we were allowed into the home, I wasn't even allowed. It was still under crime scene by the police for at least a week. The second day of this, I had to go by the home to have my daughter go in and pick up some medicine. She was escorted in by the police. At that time, I wasn't able to even go into the home.
And what about the third day?
I have no idea on the third day. They were going to contact us. I forget the detective's name at the time where we could go in and remove the children's clothes.
We've underlined the 2 sections that apply.
Well, this is a copy of a newspaper article. This indicates that Mr. McCullum at some point was free on bond of $300,000. So he was freed awaiting trial for a period of time?
Yes, ma'am, almost a year.
When was bail set?
Bail was set, I believe, at the time that he was arrested, but between his attorneys, they wanted it reduced, but our side said no.
Doesn't make any difference. He was free on bail.
Yes, ma'am, but that happened 3 weeks after. He was in jail for 3 weeks before he was released on bond. And I have another article here that talks about the belongings.
I'd like to read that too. The defendant says she doesn't have them. I don't know whether she has them or not, but there has to be some proof that she has them, because there are possibly other explanations as to what happened to the property. I'll get to that in a minute. What's your name?
Danielle.
Danielle, did you originally lie to the police about this fire?
Yes.
You originally lied to the police and told them that your father was nowhere around, is that right?
No.
Danielle McCullum said that she was standing 5 feet from her father and O'Neill in a neighbor's yard when the woman burst into flames. She said she didn't see a lighter in either of their hands. Later, she said she originally told the detective she had been in her room when O'Neill caught fire. She told the jury Wednesday she lied because she was scared.
That's
right?
true.
So why would I believe anything she says?
And ma'am, I never got a phone call. I never got a card asking how I was doing or anything. Nothing. After 9 years.
After 9 years and 3 of the children living with you?
Yes, ma'am.
Well, they must not be very nice
people. I had
people.
my very bad faults, but after
Was she drunk?
Excuse me? Listen.
She was an alcoholic.
Well, there had to be some reason why, listen to me, madam, she may not be perfect, but there had to be some reason why your 3 girls chose to live with their father instead of you. There had to be some reason.
There is. I was incarcerated.
Well, that's a very good reason.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Piper Acetella says her ex-boyfriend's ex-wife, Paula Heyer, ransacked her home and stole her belongings. Piper says the theft occurred while she was in a coma.
She says it wasn't her. It certainly wasn't you. That leaves old Leo. Now, what could Leo have done? Could Leo have given his attorney the key to the house and said to his attorney, in case she makes it, I don't want her to have anything? He could have done that. May have even sent it over to her house. Who knows? Anybody who was crazy enough to do what he did could do anything. And clearly, if he was out on $300,000 bond, he had some money. Where did he get the money from for $300,000 bond? From his parents.
Oh, yeah.
So he could have given his parents the key to the house.
They weren't there yet.
They're out of state.
Doesn't make any difference. Gotten it to them, said one way or another, you get into that house and take everything out of that house. I don't want, in case she gets better, I don't want her to have a thing.
Can she explain about Nancy, the woman that actually saw them taking the stuff in and out?
Well, I would like to hear a witness if you have that witness. Where is that witness?
She was reached by telephone, but apparently she couldn't make it here.
Why? Who is she?
She's Leo's cousin's wife.
She came to see me in the hospital quite frequently while I was waiting for her to come out of her coma.
Well, why can't she be here?
She said that she would be here, but she had to talk it over with her husband, and we think that when she did that, and since he's related to Leo, that they didn't want her to show up here because it would be a plus on her side. So she never did return the calls after that.
Do you understand my problem?
Yes.
What?
I know where the furniture went.
Well, then let me hear you.
Okay. Leo's brother, McCullum, had put everything into storage because the landlord had got a hold of him stating that he was going to trash anything and everything that was left in the house because the rent was due. So he took the stuff from the house, put it into storage. I have the receipts where he paid storage for 10 months.
And when was that done?
Just a second. Here we go.
And I was never
Okay,
notified.
so Leo's brother?
Yes.
Leo's brother took the stuff and put it in storage?
Yes, which he paid storage on for 10 months before he took it out.
Well, where is it now?
It's at his residence in Ozark, Missouri.
Your Honor, I was never notified.
In regards to the contents of Leo McCullough's household goods, McCullum, removed and put in storage in August of 1999. I kept it in storage for 10 months, which then I moved some of the property into storage in my house. Let us make copies of the storage receipts. Let us make a copy of this before the plaintiff leaves today. Now you know where your stuff is. You know where your furniture is.
Maybe the furniture, but my clothes, I mean, they had a habit of stealing stuff out of my closet.
I know, but you can't prove that. We're talking about major stuff now. I mean, I can't say whether they took your clothes, whether they took your shirts, whether they took whatever. The brother went into the house, according to his own letter. He went into the house. That's what I said. I said, he could have turned this key over to a relative, to his parents, to his brother, and said, get it out of there. I don't want her to have anything, because I'm going to spend the rest of my life in jail anyway. Hopefully.
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 I'll be there to see it.
Right. So, here's this. Try again. Wrong defendant. Got it? Make sure she gets that. Thank you very much.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
I'll be there to see this man in prison for the rest of his life, and I will.
She didn't never work. She didn't pay for the booze she drank every day. She didn't pay for anything. Nothing in that house was hers.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Bloom parent versus parent. Step forward, please.
57-year-old Shirley Bloom and her daughter, 23-year-old teacher Terry Parent, are suing Shirley's son, 21-year-old plumber's assistant Jess Parent, for an unpaid loan to keep him out of jail.
According to your complaint, there came a time when your son was facing a prison term or facing jail unless he could come up with some money. You took out a loan so he would have the money, but you needed some collateral, and the only collateral that you had was your mother's car, which you didn't put up as collateral for this loan. Your brother hasn't paid back the loan. What was he facing jail about?
It was for deferred adjudication, and he had hot checks.
A deferred adjudication, which means if he paid back the money, he wouldn't go to jail.
Right.
Okay, and how much money did he have to come up with?
Altogether, it was like $1,900.
So did he come to you and ask you for the money?
Actually, he came to my mom.
What did he say to you, Miss Blum?
He told me that if he didn't have this money by this certain time, that his probation officer, when his probation was off, that they would automatically give him a year. And if he went to jail, then he would go automatically to prison.
You then spoke to your daughter?
Right.
I used my mother's vehicle. It's a '97 Kia Sophia, and got the lease and the amount of money I needed.
And what were the monthly payments on it?
Every week it was $38.72. On March 23rd, 2001, I paid the loan off, which he didn't help me other than maybe, what, 6, 7 payments of all?
$871 he gave you back.
I had to pay off the loan, which was $1,987.22.
Okay, let's hear from you.
I disagree with everything that was just said, because I'd give my mom money to the fact that if the baby, my sister's baby, needed something, I'd give them some money. Every time I got paid, I'd give them some money.
That's not
true.
true.
To help
That's
them out.
not true, Jess. You know that.
I mean, anytime they needed help, I would help them out. And I mean, it's just been going on like this since I was little. I mean, she's been wanting money. I mean, I had a job.
Let's go back.
Okay.
You faced a term of imprisonment on a deferred adjudication. You had to come up with some money, all at one time. Did you ask your mother for the money?
No, ma'am. It wasn't that much.
Just a second.
Okay.
Did you discuss with your mother the fact that if you didn't come up with a bulk piece of money, you were going to go to jail?
No, ma'am. I had a job, and it wasn't that much money. For deferred adjudication, I was not going to, it wasn't having to pay a fine.
Is what you're telling me that your sister never gave you a check to give to the court for fines.
No.
Is that what you're telling me?
Yes.
And that was on or about August of 2000.
Yes. I had a job. I was working.
That's not what I asked you.
Okay.
Are you telling me that you never, in August of 2000, needed a bulk sum of money to pay fines and other bad checks? Is that what you're telling me?
Yes.
What's the name of your probation officer?
Dolores,
What's her phone number?
I have no idea.
Oh, sure you do. You have to call and check in with your probation officer, sir.
I went and seen her once a month. I never had a call and check or nothing.
Does that name sound familiar to you?
Yes, it does.
Do you have the
But I
telephone number of the probation officer?
No, I don't. I never got anything like that. He would never give it to me because he didn't want me to talk to her.
Do you have a copy of the check?
No, we just have the copy of the loan.
The agreement, the
right.
lease agreement.
And
for
I have, these are checks that I picked up with some of that money for him because he was going to go to jail that day if they weren't paid. And the rest of it I gave it to him to pay his fine.
Well, you certainly made restitution on that date, sir. So that takes care of your argument that you didn't need a bulk of money in August.
I didn't. I had to pay a certain payment before that date.
No, that's not true.
Yes, it is.
No.
Your Honor, why would we get the loan if, I mean, I have my own responsibilities,
What did
more or
you do
less.
with the check that you got for it?
I cashed it and I gave him the, my mother went and paid off some of his hot checks, which we gave you the paperwork on that.
And the rest of it we gave to him.
How many bad checks did you write?
I wrote, I'd say around 4 or 5.
That's not true.
Yeah.
No, that's not true.
I wrote about 4 or 5 hot checks because I had gotten kicked out of their house. So.
What'd you get kicked out for?
Well, she wanted more money from me, and I only had so much money. I was getting.
That's not true,
I gave
Jess.
her most
That's
of
not-
my check.
No.
Yes, that is true. Every week when I got paid, I got a certain amount. That's all I would get. I'd give her the rent. I didn't mind paying rent. I don't mind doing that. You know,
Well,
I
how
feel
old are you?
responsible. You know,
How
I'm
old are
21.
you?
I don't mind paying rent at all. That's part of life, you know. But I mean, you shouldn't work all week for just like $50 a week when you give your whole check to your mom. I mean, that's supposed to be your mom, not your money taker.
That's right.
You know?
It is supposed to be your mom.
Don't talk to him.
Your Honor, I keep a diary because he accused me several times of taking his money. He'd give me money, right. By the end of the week, he would borrow it all back. And he'd say, Mom, why don't I have any money? So I kept a little calendar. And every time he got money from me, I wrote it down. And I made copies for you, if you want to see them, showing since the time we had to get him out of jail the first time, which was like almost $700 that weekend getting him out of jail when he got in trouble, that he never paid back.
You been arrested since, sir?
No, ma'am.
How many times have you been arrested altogether?
I'd say twice.
Yes.
I'd say twice.
Yeah.
I'd
Well,
say.
it wasn't nothing besides traffic tickets. I mean, that's why. I mean, I
And
got.
lying to a judge.
Shh. That's why I got. Well, the second time I got thrown in jail for lying to an officer, and the officer came back and put me in jail for that.
Oh, good. And what's next?
And then the other one was for traffic tickets.
And the other one was for bad checks.
No, I never got thrown in jail for bad checks.
No, because Mama helped and paid.
No, because I worked and paid for them.
No,
You got
didn't.
arrested for bad. Just a second. You got arrested for bad checks, didn't you?
No, he never
I
got
never got
arrested.
arrested for
Never
bad
got
checks.
arrested
No,
for the bad
because I
checks.
paid him off.
No, he came
so
to
I
us
see.
whining about
I
he was
see.
gonna
He
go to
was
jail.
on probation for something else.
Right.
Oh. Oh, what? For lying to an officer.
Right.
Yeah.
What'd you lie to him about?
I told him a different name because I knew I had a traffic ticket out.
Oh, so, and that wasn't hard to lie to the officer, was it?
No, it wasn't. It
Good.
was a
Judgment for the
class-
plaintiff in the amount of $1,987. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
I'd like to see him grow up.
I don't want to have any contact with him. I mean, I don't have a mom anymore, I don't feel.
She shouldn't have had to pay it. It wasn't her loan. It was his.
I'd have paid for it myself or done the time.
He lied so much about what he paid and what he didn't pay.
I don't feel I owe nothing.
It was supposed to be the happiest day of their lives.
You booked the hall for your wedding.
The pictures on the internet shows us it's nice.
It was a dump.
It was awful.
Did the wedding planner have a plan of her own?
The cake was, in my opinion, unedible. It tasted like the place smelled.
Or did this couple act on blind faith?
You chose this place based upon this picture.
Judge Judy
I never chose.
are suing wedding location manager Sherilyn Stolling. The Stouches claim Sherilyn's website misrepresented the wedding location.
Come to order. All rise. Yeah, this is case number 226 on the calendar in the matter of Stouch versus Stalling. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Sir, have a seat, please.
Mr. and Mrs. Stouch, was this a first wedding for both of you?
First for him, second for me.
According to your complaint, you booked the defendant's hall for your wedding.
Correct.
You were unhappy with what you saw when you finally saw it, and you want her to give you back all kinds of money, including a whole bunch for your aggravation.
Yes.
When was your wedding scheduled?
August 11th.
And when did you book the defendant's hall?
Right around June 5th.
Where is the defendant's hall located?
In Eureka Springs, Arkansas.
And where were you living?
Kansas City, Kansas.
Why were you getting married in Arkansas?
Well, we've learned a lot about Arkansas, about Eureka Springs, a nice little village, and...
How far is it from...
It's 5 hours, but there's a lot of wedding chapels in Eureka.
So you mean you were schlepping everybody out there, this 5-hour drive?
Yeah, a lot of his family and friends are from
The area.
the area.
That's what I'm getting at. So a lot of your family was actually there already.
They were within 2 hours away.
Okay. And you booked the place sight unseen?
Over the internet, we found it.
Over the internet, but sight unseen. You never went to look at it.
Correct.
You never went to look at it? You never had any of your family or friends who live in Arkansas go to look at it?
No, my family is 2 hours away from Arkansas.
That's okay. A 2-hour trip. Which family? You have parents, sisters, brothers?
Sisters, brothers, and
So you say to your brother or your sister, do me a favor, take a ride up to this place. I saw it on the internet. You know, I think it's a nice place. I'd like you to take a look at it and make sure it's, you know, what we think it is. All right. So you went to look at the chapel how much before the wedding?
We showed up a day before the wedding. We had no reason to believe that it wasn't going to be a nice place. The pictures on the internet shows us it's nice. We're not supposed to just assume that it's a, you know, a dump.
Well, that's what you found. According to you, you found that it was a dump, right?
According, yes, but the internet pictures were totally different.
How much of a deposit had you given her?
A $200 deposit.
And she was supposed to provide other things as well. Food, right?
Supplied food.
Cake?
Cake.
Now, you got there a day before you saw this place, and it was, according to you, a dump.
Very much so.
So what'd you do?
Spent the whole next day trying to find a new place. I went to the Chamber of Commerce. I went to try to get a hold of her. It took many hours to get a hold of her. The Chamber finally got a hold of her for us. I explained to her that we couldn't get married there. She refused to give us any money back. Then the Chamber actually got a hold of her, and she decided to give us $275 and give us the food and the cakes. But the cake was, in my opinion, unedible. It tasted like the place smelled.
Shh. I'd just like to see some photographs if you have them. I'm not to you yet.
There's before what it was supposed to look like. Then there's some. We have quite a few that we've taken of what it actually looks like.
Okay.
And if you'll notice, the floor is completely destroyed. And on the internet picture, it looks like the floor is brand new.
This is the picture that you're showing me of what the inside of the chapel looked like on the internet,
Yes.
right? Do you have this picture?
No.
Well, and I can't tell what it looked like, what this picture looked like.
Do they have a picture of it being destroyed, the floor being destroyed?
Yes, we do.
They have pictures of the floor looking a little bit seedy, but
That's where
not-
we
that
have to
doesn't-
stand when we were
that-
getting married.
That doesn't impress me one way or another. One are outside pictures, one are inside pictures.
Correct.
So let me understand this. You gave her a $200 deposit.
Yes,
She gave you back $275, right?
correct.
She gave you all the food. right?
Correct.
So what do you want?
We paid more than $275. We didn't pay just a $275 deposit.
Well, what did you pay?
Yeah, the total was $857.53. We also had to come up with another $857 to get married somewhere.
On a last minute.
On that day, we had to find another place to get married. There was no way we could have got married there.
Based upon the pictures that you show me, I don't see that there's any way that you couldn't gotten married there.
Would you have gotten married there?
I don't know. I can't tell from your pictures, sir.
Look at the outside. There's beer bottles outside.
I'm not talking about the outside. I'm talking about the inside.
Well, the outside has a lot to do with it.
Listen
Beer
to me. You're
bottles.
talking, hey, don't speak to him.
I'm sorry.
You're talking about misrepresentation. Do you understand? You're talking about misrepresentation. You showed me a picture on the internet, this photograph.
Correct.
So what I asked you is, show me this picture of what this area was when you arrived. You don't have that picture. So I cannot make a judgment as to whether this picture misrepresented to you what the place looked like. You got a responsibility. Listen, I made a lot of weddings in my life. I got a lot of kids, and I got married a couple of times myself. I never chose a place to get married based upon a picture. Never.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Tony and Nicole Stouch say they rented Sherilyn Stallings' wedding site via the internet. The Stouches say the location turned out to be a dump.
Now, if she gave you $275 back in cash, plus she gave you all the food for the wedding.
There's no way we could have came up with the food and the cake.
We had to take the food. We didn't want the food. We had less than 24 hours left.
Did you have other people cater the wedding?
No, she was
so you
in charge of
used
catering.
that food to feed your people.
If we didn't use that food, we would have been out food and cake. We had to use that food, yes.
So you used it. That's what you
Yes,
used to feed
but
your...
it was awful.
I've been to weddings where the chicken was rubbery myself. That doesn't mean that the people sued them.
He works evenings, I work days. There was no possible way to even, I mean, we couldn't have done it.
Let me explain something to you. That's your responsibility.
It's also her responsibility to have a website that the pictures and her place looks like. I mean,
That's your responsibility. You're planning a wedding. Some people may like to plan a wedding in a dungeon. Some people may think it's kinky. Some people like to get married jumping out of airplanes, holding hands with a rabbi, right? Not my thing. Some people like to get married at the top of a roller coaster. They think that that's interesting. It's not my thing. You were charged with the obligation of choosing a place. You chose this place based upon this picture.
And based on talking to her and telling us how nice it was.
Right. Well, what is she supposed to say? She's supposed to say it's not nice?
Well, it's not nice.
That's your fault. Send your sister over to the place and say, listen, we're contemplating doing this place. Do me a favor. Take a 2-hour ride. I want to make sure that this place, the whole place, is similar to this one picture that I saw on the internet. You didn't do that. What are you complaining about? You got married. You had your family and friends there. You had food. The food wasn't great. You know what you do when you do a wedding? You go to the place and you say, this is the place? Good. Now I want a tasting. You're going to supply the food. I'd like to taste whatever you say that you're going to provide so that I can select a menu. That's what people do. If you're doing this thing over the phone, you run certain risks. You had opportunities. You work days, you work nights. I'm sure that both of you don't work 7 days a week.
6 days.
Well, that's not 7. On the 7th day, you travel. If it's so important to you to see what the place looks like and to select the menu, you get in the car and you go there and take a look to see what it's about. You don't come in kvetching later that the place didn't look nice when I got there. Listen, you got married, be happy. Goodbye. Case is dismissed.
All right, excuse you, may step out.
The Miracle Mansion is not the place to get married.
I'm not ashamed of my building.
My wedding was pretty much ruined.
And my website pictures are accurate.
It was awful.
And now the next case.
All parties on Turner versus Turner. Step forward, please.
40-year-old marketing director Carmela Turner is suing her ex-husband, 40-year-old personal trainer Daryl Turner, for pawning her karaoke speakers.
Miss Turner, were you ever married to the defendant?
I was married at one point to this defendant.
When?
We were married October 2nd, 1994.
And divorced when?
June 28th of this year.
But you've been together for a longer period of time than that, is that right?
Yes, we have.
Since when?
Since 1991.
Do you have any children?
Yes, we do. We have one son, Andre, and one son, Daryl Turner, the second.
Either one of these children?
Daryl, little.
Little one.
Yes.
Who are these two children?
These are two of my boys from a previous marriage.
Okay. Is there any reason that these boys have to be here?
Michael actually was our sound person that...
I don't need information about that. That has nothing to do with this case.
Okay.
Why don't you boys go outside, please? They can find their way, Bird.
Okay.
I don't see why children have to be involved with this. Okay. Not a very difficult case. Mr. Turner, according to your former wife's complaint, she was given by the state some sound equipment in order to help her build up some sort of a business. And that business was the karaoke business, and you would do shows and events and things. Is that right?
That's right.
You worked in it together.
That's right.
The speakers were part of the equipment that was given to you.
Yes.
Because you have some sort of a disability?
Right.
And according to you, you also contributed to the business. The kids were involved, and you did some events over a period of how many years?
3.
And then there came a time, Mr. Turner, that according to you, you needed some money.
We needed money.
According to you, you needed some money, which is what you say in your answer.
Okay.
And so you pawned 4 of the speakers.
Correct.
When did you do that?
Right before May.
Of this year?
Of this year.
Right before your divorce?
Well, right around then. Shortly before then.
Well, were you living together at the time you were going through a divorce?
Yeah, well, the divorce came prior to some things that was going on that led up to the divorce.
Well, usually people don't get divorced in 1 month. So were you actually living in the house?
Yes.
And within a month, a divorce became final? What are you shaking your head? He's not making sense to me.
Me either.
Okay. Were you living together in May of 2000 when he pawned these 4 speakers?
Okay, he pawned the speakers in February. He did not pawn them in May, he pawned them in February.
Does that sound?
That sounds about right.
Okay. And when did he move out of the house?
He started preparing to move out right around May 1st, and he moved out, actually physically out, May 23rd.
Now, did you agree that he should pawn these speakers in February?
No, I didn't, not initially.
What do you mean, not initially?
The pawning was done prior to me coming home. Now, after he did tell me about it and told me why he did it, and he told me that he would get the speakers back before our next show.
Does that sound right?
Some of it.
No, does that sound right, that you went and you pawned the speakers, and then you told her that you had pawned the speakers, but that you would get them back before the next show?
Some of it.
Oh, tell me what's not right.
I pawned them without her knowledge because we had an upcoming event. The event we were going to be performing at had their own equipment. We needed some new material. That's the reason why I did it, so we can get the material that we needed for that event. I did inform her of it as soon as she got home.
Okay. How much did you get for the speakers?
Oh, I think about $400.
You have the ticket?
No, I don't.
Mm-hmm. You never got the speakers back?
No, I didn't.
Why?
We separated, and I wanted 2 of the speakers. She refused to give me 2 of the speakers, so I didn't feel that I needed to get them out of the pawn shop. So I didn't want her to have all of them, so I left them there.
Well, you can't do that, Mr. Turner.
Well, there's a reason why I did it.
I'm listening to your reason.
The reason why I did it is when I left the city I was in to go to resign in another city, as soon as I got there, the sheriffs were waiting for me, which she had called. They threw me up against the fence, handcuffed me. My little 4-year-old was with me. He was crying hysterically. Then they had to take him back halfway to Bakersfield by himself. This is about 10:30 at night, by himself. Then I was humiliated in the local newspaper as being a child abductor. All this stuff went on. Now, she kept all the microphones, all the lights, everything to the show, everything, all the furniture. All I wanted was just 2 of the monitors. So
but she had been given those, sir, by the state.
Well, we were married, and when you're married, usually there's what they call a common, I forget the term that was used.
Community property is what you're talking about.
Okay, right, exactly. Community property.
Community property, sir, contemplates that married people contribute the same, some with time, some with money, some with a combination of time and money and caregiving, et cetera. So community property means that each of you has contributed a certain amount to the physical things in a marriage, the television, the sofas, the table, and the chairs, et cetera. When the state, through a vocational rehabilitation project, gives equipment to someone who is disabled in some way, that does not become community property. ever. Do you understand?
I do
It
now.
would be, sir, listen to me. It would be like you saying to me, the state gave my wife a wheelchair. When I left, I took half of it because it's community property. The state gives her a wheelchair or a respirator to breathe on. That does not become community property. These speakers represent the same kind of thing because they were given to her. She did not pay for them. You did not pay for them. They were sort of a gift, an investment by the state to see if she could, in some way, earn a living. So you had no right to pawn the speakers. Period. End of discussion. But I don't know what you want. I don't know what it costs to replace the speakers. They use speakers. Well, what does it cost to replace them?
When they were purchased, they were brand new, and I did bring you receipts, and I also brought you the paperwork saying that they were, you know, for me to become a sole proprietor. What I did, I was able to go online, and I actually found them a little less expensive than what they paid for them. And they were new when they paid for them, and they're also new now. And here are the receipts for that.
Did you buy them, or did you?
I've ordered them.
You've ordered them?
Yes, and they've charged my credit card. And the proof is on there about the charging of the credit card.
Okay. So the total is $1,466?
Right.
And that's for
Can I say something?
2 speakers?
4, actually.
4 speakers.
2 monitors and 2 speakers. And on the front
Well,
of the
did he also take the monitors?
Yeah, it was 4 total. It was 2 speakers and 2 monitors. And on the front, it shows the pictures of them.
Yeah, what do you want to tell me, sir? Fast.
Now, the speakers were heard, but the microphones, the lights, the fog machines, we have more than just speakers. There's other equipment that I bought. She got that stuff still.
Just a minute. That's part of your divorce, sir.
But
That's part of your divorce. If you purchased it with your money...
shouldn't I be entitled to get it?
You should have asked for it in the divorce, sir.
I did.
And was it given to you?
No.
Well, then, what do I have to listen to it for? So what I'm telling you is, certain things are community property, certain things are individual property. These items that were given to her by the state are her single property. They were not given to you as a couple. In this case, if you decided to let that other equipment go in your divorce, that is your problem. This you cannot do. You cannot take property that is not yours and sell it, which is exactly what you did, and you have to pay for it. $1,466.29 is what it costs to replace it.
Your Honor.
What?
Okay, when he did do that back, you know, in February, there was a show coming up.
I heard that you put in a deposit and you couldn't do it. You
No,
should
it
have
wasn't
rented equipment. I don't want to hear anything
It wasn't a
about that.
deposit. I had to pay the whole thing. It's right here.
No. You're not paying attention. You paid the whole thing, and what I said was, then if you didn't have these speakers, you should have rented equipment for the day. Do you understand? He can't sell your individual property, which is what he did when he pawned it. Do you understand?
Yes.
Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $1,466.29. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
All I wanted was just 2 monitors.
I'm happy that Judge Judy did see that the speakers really belong to me.
She could have kept everything else, the microphone, the fog machine, and everything. Marsha Brady and everything. That's all I wanted was just...
When did you and the defendant start to live together?
Approximately May 1st, 2000.
And when did you separate?
He left on the 19th of July, 2001.
Were you both working at the time?
I was not working. He had lost his job the day prior.
So how did you support the household?
I have a nervous system disease, and I was receiving disability payments.
You were receiving disability?
Which exceeded his income.
No, that's a false statement, Your Honor.
Oh.
Yes, it is.
What kind of work were you doing, sir?
I'm a computer technician.
And how much did you earn last year?
$63,000.
Okay. Now, did you move into a new apartment together, or did you move in with him, or did he move in with you?
We moved into a new apartment together. I was making $110,000 at the time I lost my job, and I was receiving disability payments in excess of $2,600 a month.
Your Honor, she was borrowing money from her mother to support this.
This lawsuit has to do with the fact that you claim that you purchased for your joint use a motorcycle.
That's correct.
That's a false statement, Your
Mr. Nelson, I don't want to hear from you until I look in your direction or ask you a question.
Okay.
That he won't return to you.
That's correct.
Mr. Nelson says that you purchased this motorcycle for him as a gift. That's your defense.
Yes, Your Honor, that's true.
Okay. Now, I would like you to tell me the circumstances surrounding the purchase of this motorcycle. When was it purchased?
It was purchased on April 20th, the year 2001. I purchased it because when I lost my job, we had a fair amount of money to live on, but it by April, it became apparent that it just wasn't going to make it. I talked to Mr. Nelson, took a full 401k distribution. I got approximately $17,000 left. I have all the proof here. The bike cost $9,400. I did so because he was driving a 4Runner. The 4Runner was costing about $500 a month in just gas alone. And we needed to cut down on our daily expenses. We could not fork out that amount of money on a daily basis for gas. Plus, he had to pay a toll fee to go across the bridge to get to work. Using a motorcycle, you avoid the toll fee.
So?
So we bought the bike.
Now I'll hear from you.
Your Honor, on my birthday, 4/10, she told me that for my birthday, as a gift, that she would be buying a motorcycle for me. And it's a wonderful gift. Plus, it will save on the gas and all these other things. This was not for our use. It was for my use, and it was a gift as a birthday present. 4/10, we had discussed going to look at motorcycles on the weekend. We did so on Sunday, April 15th, and put a deposit of $100 on the motorcycle in question. We were waiting on the rest of the 401k loan to come in, and it did come in. Sorry?
Not a 401k loan, a 401k payout. She got cash.
Okay, yeah. Well, she took that money and told me that she was going to pay the debts that were incurred because of her out-of-control spending with eBay and whatnot, the debts that she was creating, as well as buying a motorcycle for me as a gift. We went back on 4/21 and paid the remainder of the balance. She was talking to the salesman, and I have a written statement from the salesman.
Don't tell me what the salesman said.
This is very important
The
because
salesman should have been here.
he couldn't come here because he's a salesman. He couldn't make it. He doesn't know me. Why would he take the time to come to the court?
Not a reason. That's hearsay.
Okay. Well, she also told Jamie Curley and my mother. We rode the motorcycle to my mother's house, and she boasted of this beautiful gift that this generous gift that she bought for her son, as a birthday gift.
Why did you leave in July?
We were having some difficulties. We were having a lot of difficulties, and she was adding a lot of stress to my life, and plus my children. She was not really caring for my children or very sympathetic towards the situation between my children and I. She didn't want them around. She was trying to control how often I saw my children and whatnot.
But that wasn't a recent thing. That probably had been going on for a while.
This has been, yes.
Was it going on before April of 2001?
Yes, ma'am, it was.
So what'd you take this very expensive gift for?
Because it was a gift for me.
So why did you accept a very expensive gift if things weren't going well?
They weren't going too well, but I mean, these things were tolerable, and it was getting progressively worse. When she lost her job, things just kept going downhill from there. And, I got to a point where I was just fed up and I was done.
Now, one of the defenses that you have to this action, other than the fact that it was a gift, is that you say that jointly you purchased furniture for this apartment that you moved in together, and the only thing that you left with was the motorcycle.
It wasn't, I wanted to leave clean. I didn't want to have it drag out or anything, and we had discussed, she said I could take, I told her three things that I wanted. I'm going to take, I said I'd like to take the computer desk, the DVD player, and our big screen TV. And that's it, and you can have the rest, and I'm leaving. And I didn't include the motorcycle because that was a gift and that was mine. So I didn't ask her, is it okay if I take my motorcycle? I had a police civil standby because her son got out of control that night and brought two friends over.
Did you, in fact, take this TV?
No, I did not. She wouldn't allow me to take the TV because
So did you take anything from the apartment?
No. Excuse me. I took my clothes, my belongings, and the
motorcycle.
And the motorcycle. And the police wanted me to get my stuff and get out. They were there on a civil standby, and I was standing right next to an officer when I rode off with the motorcycle.
Now, who paid for all the furniture in the apartment?
She paid partially, and we had a joint account and whatnot, so I don't know exactly how much of what we paid for.
How much money did you put into the joint account each week?
Actually, I have it right here. I have statements right here.
I have a statement also, Your Honor.
How much money did he put into the joint account?
$1,263 every 2 weeks.
Okay. What was the rent on the apartment?
$1,800.
$1,850, Your Honor.
Excuse me. This motorcycle was not an issue, if I may. This motorcycle was not an issue until after I'd left and she saw Miss Curley riding on the back of my motorcycle. We left the place, and then Miss Rungstad told me that she said, now, because of this stunt, you're going to lose the motorcycle. And that's when it became the issue.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Lori Rongstad is suing her ex-boyfriend, Eric Nelson, for the cost of a motorcycle. Eric says Lori is jealous of his new fiancée.
Is it accurate that he put in about it would come out to about $2,700 a month?
He put it in, but he also had bills that used up all of that money.
I want to know who paid for furnishing the apartment.
I did. I sold over $80,000 worth of stock options. I bought all of the bedroom furniture prior to us ever moving in and charged it on an American Express card.
Are you telling me that he did not contribute to purchasing anything for the apartment?
No, ma'am, he didn't, because I had the cash. I had over $30,000 when we moved in. The only things that we needed to buy once we moved in were we bought a big screen TV, a DVD player, and a couple of VCRs.
Where
Other
did you
than
pay
that,
for that from?
At that time, we did not have a joint account.
Where did the money come from?
From myself, from my stock option sales.
Your Honor, I also had stock that I had sold as well, and plus I also put extra money in that we bought stock together, and she put it in her son's name, and then sold the stock, and we used that money as well, so it's not going to look like it came from me at all, but that's what happened.
There's never been any stock in my son's name ever, and that can be proved through IRS records if needed.
I'd like to pull
Now,
those in.
I have one other question. The car that you had, the truck that you had, was that sold?
No, ma'am.
Did you continue to use it for the months of May and June?
Yes, I did at times, yes.
So you kept that. Do you drive?
I do drive, but I have my own vehicle.
What kind of vehicle do you have?
At the time, I had a Chrysler Concorde. However, it was tampered with, and the engine no longer worked, so I had to turn that in and buy a new car.
But when this motorcycle was purchased, you did not sell the other car that he had.
No.
That car was retained.
That's correct.
Now, do you have both vehicles now, sir, the motorcycle and that other car?
Yes, Your Honor, I do.
You have both?
Yes.
Okay, and you had both in the month of May?
Yes, I did.
And you had both in the month of June?
Yes.
It was a gift. It was a gift, Miss Rostad. Now, it may have been a gift that you decided should not be a gift because the romance didn't last more than a couple of months after you gave it to him, but that's really not dispositive.
No,
I would accept what you said to me about saving all the money because of saving all the gas money, et cetera, if the agreement was that he was going to sell the car that he had or the truck that he had so that there would be no additional expense, but there is certainly no saving by having two vehicles, two insurance, two repairs, two everything else. I mean, I think that, yes, oh yes.
May I say
think that it is, no. I think that it's probably not the moral thing to do to accept this very pricey gift, sir, from somebody where the relationship wasn't going right. You know, guys like big toys, so you're going to take it anyway because where else were you going to get a $9,000 present? But I certainly think it was not the moral thing to do. Do we understand each other?
Yes, I do. I left that house, Your Honor, without taking anything, so
well, my
understand
sense is, from what the plaintiff tells me, that she had far more financial resources to spend to furnish that house than you did. I was a little sympathetic when I first read your answer, and you said, I walked out of this relationship with nothing. We had furnished a house for $25,000, and I just left with this gift and my clothes. Until I ascertained, sir, that you have children for whom I'm sure you pay child support, that you did put in certain joint monies into a joint account, but that went to pay off some bills. You had a car, you had insurance, you had gas. That eats up what you put in to the joint account. So I don't see that you had a lot left over to buy furniture, whether it was a big screen TV, because that would have been a single guy's paradise to leave a relationship with a big screen TV and a motorcycle. So I'm sorry I can't help you, madam.
May I please say a couple other items that I was not able to say?
Sure.
Anything that was a gift, I gave him. I bought him Yardrow Eagles. I bought him a number of very expensive items. I gave those to him. Those were pure gifts. I was down to all of the last money I had in my life, my 401k. I would not have used half of that to buy him a gift. Also,
yes, you did.
No, he also did not.
Yes, you did.
Ma'am, he also did not use.
You shouldn't have used. If it wasn't a gift, you should not have used half the money that you have in your whole life to buy him a motorcycle.
Your Honor.
That's not smart.
I know.
And don't give me all the baloney about he was going to save money on gas. Common sense suggests to me that if you were going to buy somebody a car to save money.
Why did I put it in my name?
No. Listen to me carefully. you would buy him a car for $8,000.
It
because
doesn't
I
get
think
across the bridge fast.
Hey! Did I look at you and ask you a question? A motorcycle is not something that one buys to save money.
It is.
No, no, no.
I
A
also grew up with
four-cylinder
them.
little car just to get you to and from work can save money.
Yes.
Right? A motorcycle is a boy toy.
I like motorcycles, and I've always had them.
Good. Buy yourself another one. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
He's obviously filled the judge's head with lies. I mean, they won when they're purely evil people.
We were next door neighbors, and Lori, Lori won't take any responsibility for their breakup.
I have 20 police reports of all the harassment.
A woman scorned.
After I left her, I got involved with Jamie Curley, and she's off at that.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Clark versus Bruni. Step forward, please.
21-year-old student Elizabeth Clark is suing 21-year-old student Callie Bruni for the unpaid balance on a trip to Cancun.
I gather that you and a friend decided to take a trip to Mexico, a vacation to Mexico. Is that right?
Yes.
And you prepaid the trip, and shortly before you were supposed to leave, you got sick.
Yes.
Mono?
Yes.
Somehow there was an arrangement made with the defendant to take your place on the trip. You claim she paid you some money for the trip, but still owes you a substantial amount.
That's correct.
So when were you scheduled to leave on the trip?
March 8th.
When did you get sick?
February 14th. I was hospitalized March 1st through the 6th.
And at what point did it become non-refundable?
Not exactly sure.
Well, it becomes non-refundable. Certainly you would agree that by February 14th, when you got sick, it was non-refundable.
Yes.
Correct?
Correct.
So you stood to lose all of your money, right?
Yes.
Now tell me what the arrangements were with the defendant.
The arrangements were, when I was in the hospital, between my witness Shannon and Callie, that she was going to pay me money before I left.
Just a minute. So you never had a discussion with the defendant?
No, I did not.
Your witness did?
Yes, she did.
Step up. Tell me your name.
Shannon Powers.
You were supposed to go on the trip with Miss
Beth.
Clark.
Mm-hmm.
So what did you do? You contacted the defendant?
Yes, I did.
Okay. She was a friend of yours?
Yep.
Was she a friend of yours?
No.
Go ahead.
I kind of struggled around to find someone to go because we both stood to lose a lot of money. And the agreement...
Right, because it was non-refundable.
Yep.
Right.
The agreement between Callie and myself was she would give or send Beth a check or money for $400 and then pay her the remainder of the $574 in the summer when she started working.
Was that your agreement?
No.
Let me hear what your agreement was.
The agreement was $700. My parents gave $400, and I thought the agreement was that Shannon's parents gave $100 for me, and then that I was paying Beth $200 in the summer. I would never agree to pay that $978 when she was going to lose all her money.
How much did you receive altogether so far for this trip?
$400.
$400. And where did the other $100 come from?
From my parents, but I guess they never sent it. I was not aware of that.
Why were your parents going to send Miss Clark another $100?
Because Callie agreed to give me $500, and then she didn't have a license, and she had to get back from New York to Connecticut because she didn't have a passport, and she had to spend the money, the $100, to get back to Connecticut to get her IDs and stuff.
Okay, so you were going to give her parents back the $100?
No. My parents would only give me $400, and Beth's mom would not take the $400. She said $500.
Are you telling me that you actually gave her $500 or $400?
$400, but...
All right, so you still owe her $3. Miss Clark, you never had a conversation with nor a contract with the defendant. Is that right?
Before she left, I did not have contact with her.
Right, so you had no contract with her, right?
Right.
You had no agreement with her whatsoever.
It was between them. But I had a friend who was willing to go instead of Callie before she...
I don't know that. Where's your friend who was willing to go?
I have a document.
I don't read documents. I don't read documents. I mean, you're in the hospital. You stand to lose $974. You took out no insurance to prevent you from losing all this money. I mean, I don't see anybody spending the full amount of the trip if she knows you're going to lose all of your money. That's not the way people usually operate. They usually operate, well, I'll go on short notice, but I'm not going to spend $1,000 on a trip. She didn't have $1,000. She only had $400. Aside from the fact you didn't have a contract with her.
But that was the agreement that I understood, that she was to pay me money when she got back from the trip.
Yeah.
She paid me $400 and I expected the rest. I worked 2 jobs over my winter break trying to pay for this trip. And I wouldn't have let somebody go on my trip for $700 that I worked 2 jobs for and then I paid for in full.
Next time you take a trip, you should have some insurance.
I never thought that I was going to get sick.
Absolutely. That's why people take out insurance. In any event, you had no contract with the defendant. As far as she was concerned, well, she got a little mixed up with the $100. I guess she figured your mother was going to give her $100 so that you wouldn't lose all your money and therefore you wouldn't go away on this trip alone.
Yeah.
You still owe her $300. Why haven't you paid her?
I was going to pay her the $200 because I never knew that
her mother didn't give the $100.
Yes.
All right.
So I was going to pay her the $200, and then I get in the mail that she's trying to get $530 from me.
So you gave her nothing?
Right.
Well, why didn't you give her at least what you thought you owed her?
Because I knew I had to go to court anyways.
Okay. Well, you owe her $300. Judgment for the plaintiff, that's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
I don't think she should have got $300. I think she should have got $200.
I'm happy that I'm getting $300, but I think I should get the full amount that I paid for the trip.
She's trying to get an interest and balance her trip and not lose any money.
Buy trip insurance no matter what trip I go on.
Did a cop go over the edge?
He was in my face, in my car, and his hand on his gun.
A police brutality case.
I have a witness here with me today who will testify that he physically assaulted her.
That isn't black and white.
Your Honor, this man is perjuring himself.
Just a sec.
There's only one way to find the truth. Hear what was caught on tape.
I have a copy of the tape right here.
Judge Judy.
Mr. Brock, you are a peace officer, is that correct?
That's correct, Judge.
Your complaint is that you made a traffic stop of the defendant for speeding, and that subsequent to giving him a ticket, he filed a complaint against you, which was patently false, with Internal Affairs causing an investigation. And while you were cleared of all charges, that report will remain on your file permanently, and you want him to pay you damages.
That's correct.
That's what the case is about. So I have a couple of questions, then I'm going to go to Mr. Courtney. How long have you been a peace officer?
I've been a peace officer, Your Honor, for approximately 9 years.
And what is your assignment, sir?
I'm assigned to the traffic division as a motor officer and an accident investigator.
When did this incident happen?
The incident occurred on September 2nd of 2000.
What time of day?
Approximately 8:30 in the morning.
And what was the reason that you stopped the defendant's car?
On that date and time, Your Honor, I was in uniform working speed enforcement in my jurisdiction when my attention was drawn to a vehicle traveling at a high rate of speed on a street named El Camino Real. My visual estimation of the vehicle's speed was approximately 50 miles an hour, which is about 15 miles an hour over what's posted for that roadway. And that roadway in itself has numerous driveways and businesses in this particular area, which restricts the sight distance for vehicles traveling.
Whatever. So you thought he was going about 15 miles over the posted speed limit?
That's correct.
You pulled him over?
Yes.
When you pulled him over, you identified yourself as a peace officer?
Yes, I did, and I was in uniform.
Mr. Courtney, I'm going to come to you next, and I want you to tell me your version of what happened after you were pulled over.
The officer came up to my window, and I inquired of him as to why
Just tell me what you said. Not inquired of him. Tell me what you said to him. He came up to your window. Did he say anything to you, or did you say something first?
He asked me for my identification.
Did he say, can I have your identification
Yes.
or your driver's license and registration?
Exactly. Yes, he
No.
did.
Which one?
He asked me for my driver's license and for registration.
Did you give it to him?
I looked for it, and then I suddenly remembered that all of my identification, along with my passport, was in my briefcase, which was sitting at home in another vehicle with my driver waiting to take me to LAX. I was on my way to Europe.
And you told him you didn't have
Yes, I did.
driver's license nor the registration for the car.
Yes.
What did he say to you then?
He asked me for my particulars, my age, my date of birth, my address, my height, my weight, color of my eyes, and I gave him that information.
Okay. Go ahead.
And he then returned to his motorcycle, which was probably 5 to 10 yards, parked behind my car, and he was there for quite some time.
And then?
Then he returned to the car, and he presented me with a ticket to sign.
Mm-hmm.
And I signed it.
And then?
And then he tore the ticket off, and he left.
So that all sounds very nice. And then what did you do?
Well, there was a lot that transpired in between. because
I'm
of his
asking
actions.
you. I mean, we're not going to play I've got a secret in 20 questions, Mr. Courtney. So far, you told me what happens when you make a routine traffic stop, license, registration you don't have, checks your ID, gives you a ticket, and you both go on your way. That sounds all
The
very
gentleman
nice.
here, while he's composed today, was
No,
quite...
no, just tell me what happened,
He was
Mr.
agitated.
Courtney.
He was very agitated.
Tell me, sir. He comes and he asks for your license and registration. You don't have it. I want you to tell me, point by point, which I thought you did, what it was that caused you to file a complaint against him.
When he approached me, Your Honor, he appeared agitated.
How did he appear agitated?
When someone looks at a person and they're not composed, possibly he had a bad start to his day, I don't know, and he did...
So he appeared agitated?
Yes, he did.
Okay. Go ahead.
Then, when I told him that I didn't have my identification with me, he just didn't seem to believe me, and he became more agitated.
No, don't tell me agitated. What did he say to you, sir?
He told me he was going to take me to magistrate's court.
Okay, go ahead.
And that was after I had informed him that I was on my way to LAX to fly to Europe, so I assumed he was going to take me to magistrate's court. I was going to miss my flight.
So what did you say to him?
I just basically cooperated with him and gave him the information that he wanted to. I don't recall exactly what I said to him at that moment, but what I did do is I got on the phone and I dialed 911 right away.
Why?
Because of how he was conducting himself.
So far, I haven't heard anything, sir.
Well,
untoward.
I'm about to share it with you. He was, he was very animated.
How animated?
He was animated to the point whereby he was in my face, in my car.
How was he in your car?
His face was literally 12 to 18 inches from my face, and I'm sitting in the driver's seat, rather than having a good 3-foot distance where people can just communicate with one another. He was in the car, so to speak. He was in my face. He was not happy. He was in a bad mood. He was agitated.
Your Honor, this man is perjuring himself.
Just a second. Now, after he left, according to you, there were no words that he said to you. It was his affect. Is that right?
No, he had threatened to take me to magistrate's court, and I couldn't understand why.
That is his right to take you to magistrate's court, sir. So that's not a threat. There were no words that he said to you that were threatening. It was his affect.
And his hand on his gun, Your Honor.
Yes.
This was just a simple traffic stop
Well,
on a Saturday morning.
It's a simple traffic stop, Mr. Courtney, except that the person who was stopped had no identification, had no license, had no registration. So what initially is a traffic stop becomes something else when there is no identification. I'm going to repeat myself. Other than the fact that you say his affect appeared to be agitated, he did not threaten you in any way. He didn't curse at you in any way. Is that right?
Oh, that's not correct, Your Honor.
Well, what did he say to you, sir? That's what I'm trying to get to,
The
Mr.
intonation in his voice, he was very abusive in how he addressed me.
Tell me, sir, what he said.
I don't recall the exact words, Your Honor, but just the manner in which he conducted himself. He didn't comport himself properly.
All right. May I see the report that was filed, please?
This is a letter that he wrote to my department
I'd like
for
to see
Internal
that.
Affairs. That's the letter right there.
Your Honor, may I make a point, please?
Yes.
Some of the points he made in the letter using the words...
Go ahead. Shh. Just a minute. Go ahead.
This incident occurred September 2nd. The Criminal Investigation Department conducted its investigation, wrote a letter back saying that they weren't going to pursue anything against the gentleman. Therefore, I assumed it was fait accompli, everything was over. I talked with my lawyer here in Beverly Hills. He said, pack it in, forget it. So I shredded everything.
Well, I have it here.
No, I appreciate that, but I wanted to peruse it prior to coming on the show.
Okay. Well, in the letter, Mr. Courtney, that you've written to the police department, you have accused the plaintiff of not only menacing affect, but of cursing at you on at least 3 occasions, something that one would necessarily remember if you remember his affect. I'm going to make a mark.
Your Honor, while you were
Just
looking
a
at
second, just a second, sir. Would you show this to the defendant, please?
Thank you.
Read the portions that I've checked.
I apologize. I don't have my glasses with me.
It's a strong
Are
enough
we in
for
the same
anybody.
age? We're in the same age range?
I'm younger than you are.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Sheriff's Deputy Edwin Brock claims Donald Courtney filed a false complaint after a traffic stop. Donald claims Deputy Brock was verbally abusive.
Can you read with my glasses?
Yes, I can. Perfectly.
Now, I'll take them back. And the paper.
Thank you.
Without going into graphic detail, well, I best go into graphic detail because we have a record here. When I was signing the ticket, in shrieking tones, according to you, he said, "Sign the ticket or you're going to court now." That I would remember. Then, you say, he said to you, with his finger, "You and your limousine." And then you say he said to you, when you said, "Please just give me the ticket," and at this point he erupted and said, "I've had enough from you." Those are things that I would remember if I were telling a story, Mr. Courtney. Mr. Brock, according to your complaint, sir, you made this stop, and the time you made the stop, you took out a recording device. Is that right?
Essentially, Your Honor, yes.
Not essentially. That's what you said here. You said, "I got off my bike and turned on my tape recorder."
Yes, it's a device that I wear on my belt. It's not something that I have to remove from a stored place.
I understand that.
Okay.
And you take that off because it's protocol to turn on the tape recorder so that you can memorialize the stop. Is that right?
That's correct.
Where is it?
I have a copy of the tape right here.
I'd like to hear it.
Okay.
Bird.
It's difficult to hear, Your Honor, because of the background noise of traffic, but you absolutely will not hear foul language from either party on that tape.
What are you stopping me for? You're the speed limit. What's the speed limit? 35? 35 where? On Escondido Boulevard, the Garden Gate. Are you serious? I'm very serious. Jesus Christ, I lived here for years. I never knew it. I thought it was 50. Are you serious? From where? Where is it 35? From where to where? Encinitas Boulevard to Garden View Road. Okay, which is Garden View? Just past. Oh. Are you serious? No, that street's been there for 35 years. No, I know, but I thought it was 50 the whole way down. Wow. I'll be damned. Well, let me start with your registration and insurance. How about that? I can't believe it. I'm flying to Zurich right now. I'm trying to get to the airport. How do you go to the airport without identification? Because I'm going home. The limo's picking me up. I see. Have your vehicle insurance with you? Nope. Right, that's the only one you have? No, I have one. Okay. Bring your insurance report with you. Not admitting guilt to the charge of being cited here for the speed violation. You have to appear in court for the charge if you're not admitting guilt to anything. Okay, your court date starts November 13th, 8 o'clock. Okay? You said I'm not admitting guilt. Well, your constitutional right, though. Even if you agree to... What are you charging me for? Speed violation, or proof of insurance in the vehicle. Well, what is the speed violation? What do you mean, what is it? Well, what was I doing? Well, you're over speeding. 48 miles an hour. I mean, really. Let me say something. You really have nothing better to do than stop me 15 miles an hour over the speed limit in this town? I mean, come on. Let me ask you a question. When should I start writing tickets? Well, let me say something to you. No, don't say anything else. Why not? I can say whatever I'd like. You sure can. Yeah. Why you sign a ticket, though? You're going to sign a ticket and not delay me any longer. The ticket asked you nicely, and I did ask you nicely. Don't be silly. Relax. No, there's no more of that. I'm standing out here. I don't care who the hell you are. I did the last time. Let me tell you what happened the last time. I don't care what happened to the last time. I'm hanging out here with these cars going 45 miles an hour. Now, I want you to sign a ticket so I can terminate. You want to terminate the contract by signing the ticket here. I'm not going to sit here and argue with you. You're arguing? I'm trying to talk to you now. I don't want to do it anymore. You know why? It's going downhill. You're getting the ticket. From what? You're getting the ticket whether you like it or not. I don't mind. Okay, I would like you to sign so I can go. Sign it. Relax. You can voice your opinion in court. If you sign the ticket and you can relax on your trip to Switzerland or wherever else you go. That ticket. You want to go sign in front of a magistrate, you can sign it. If not, you sign it right there. They can get paid later on. Right here on the side of the road is not the place to have debate with cars going behind me at 40 and 50 miles an hour. I'll tell you, this is not the end of it. Respect, you know what? Not the end of it. You won't be the first one. Oh, no, you don't know what happened last time I took an officer's report. Here's your copy. Hang on, don't go. I need your thumbprint here since you don't have any driver's license. It's not station. Would you put your right thumb on the pad right here, please, and just lightly touch the box? Good day. I got a problem. Drive safely.
You're way out of line, Mr. Courtney. Way out of line. Didn't you know he had a tape recorder going?
Yes, I did.
Well, if you knew he had a tape recorder going, sir, and I've just listened to the entire conversation that the two of you had, there is nothing that he did to you that was untoward that day.
Respectfully, you weren't there. You
I
didn't
don't care
see
whether
him.
I was there or not. I heard you.
I was there. I saw his facial remarks, his hand on the gun, and furthermore, I have a witness here with me today who will testify that he physically assaulted her in a court hallway 3 months later.
Do you want to know something? I am not interested in your witness because that case, if it's a case at all, has absolutely nothing to do with this.
Yes, it does.
Because
we appeared in
you
court on that
wrote this letter in which you allege, in this letter, which went to Internal Affairs, that he on no less than 3 occasions cursed you. He did not. That was clearly a lie. Now, maybe its intention was to get somebody's attention, but it was a lie because I've just listened to this entire conversation.
Your Honor, the validity of the authenticity of that tape has not been proven.
To my satisfaction, Mr.
Not
Courtney.
to mine and not in a court of law.
Sir, you've subjected yourself to this jurisdiction. This isn't the first case that I've heard, Mr. Courtney. And this isn't the first tape that I've listened to.
Your Honor,
and
I
I'm
asked
telling
for
you
that information. It was not provided.
And I'm telling you that the only one who was giving a hard time that day was you. As a matter of fact, there is some indication on this tape that you threatened him.
Where is
You
that?
said to him something about the last cop who gave me a ticket. And he replied very quietly, I don't care about the last cop that gave you the ticket. Please just sign this ticket. And he didn't threaten to take you to magistrate's court, sir. He only said to you, you can either sign the ticket here, sir, or you can sign it in magistrate's court. Why don't you please sign it here? Then you can be on your way.
But I did sign it.
Mr. Courtney, you were vindictive. The complaint that you made against him was totally without merit based upon that tape, which is what cleared him. Very smart of the police department to have you carry around these tapes, guys. I want to tell you something. It should have been done a long time ago. Now, I don't believe that Mr. Courtney knew that you had that tape, because if he did, I doubt very much whether he would have consented to appear here today. He did. You're suing him for $5,000. I take judicial notice of the fact that a complaint to Internal Affairs remains on your record, even if there is a finding at the end of an inquiry that there was no basis for the complaint. It does remain on your record. I am granting you your complaint in the amount of $5,000. This case is over.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Well, we have a justice system. Sometimes it works. Today it didn't.
Well, I'm happy today mostly because I was able to express my opinions for most police officers that work in the same division, making contacts with the public.
We all know that in this area of the country, the corruption within police departments, it's legendary.
In this day and age, it's popular to be angry with the police or to be not happy with the services we provide both here in California and all across the country.
There's no question that on that day that he made grimacing looks to me. He had his hand on his gun.
Mr. Courtney is a liar, plain and simple.
I had obviously better things to do than to pursue this gentleman.
He passes himself off, or at least he tries to, as an affluent businessman.
When we went to his office to report him, his supervisor, who was supposed to take down a report, she retired a few months later, and when we inquired through my lawyer, we were notified she never wrote down a report.
His business contacts and all of his friends that he has went and told this story to, they're going to see he's a plain old liar.
The point here is that we're all conversant with police officers who have a heavy badge attitude, who are out of control. This gentleman here is one of them.
He wrote that letter specifically to injure me, and he almost accomplished that, but Internal Affairs was smart enough to do what they do and found that I had not acted out of conduct.
He may look cool, calm, and collected here today. This man is definitely an accident waiting to happen.
There's a constant challenge, as you'll see.
Yes. At the time that the car was purchased, he did not have a driver's license. And the car was not supposed to be driven. It is your claim he did not pay you for the car. To make a long story a little bit shorter, anyway, there came a time when your son was incarcerated. He says that when he was released from jail, that he delivered by messenger a money order. You have not cashed the money order. In the meantime, he says that you made arrangements for the police to be involved. The police impounded the car. There were impound fees of almost $900. So you're suing him for the cost of the car. He's suing you for the cost of the car, plus the impound fees. Is that pretty much the story?
Pretty much.
Now, when was the car purchased?
It was March 3rd was the day that he called me, and it was indeed a good deal.
How much was the car?
When he called me on the phone, it was $100. When I got there, it had gone up to $150 after I had come back from the bank.
$150?
Right.
Is that what you paid for the car?
No, I paid $120.
Well, could somebody explain to me why then you people have filed a lawsuit? You want $1,500 for this car?
Well, that's the value of the car.
Get that out of your head. You paid $120. That's what he was supposed to pay you back. Is that right?
Right.
Did you pay your mother back?
Yes, Your Honor, I did.
Show me. Your husband received payment for the car, money order. Why didn't you cash it?
My boyfriend received that. I was
Boyfriend?
Yeah, and I wasn't home at the time.
Do you live there?
Yes.
Why didn't you cash the money order?
Because he didn't make me aware of it. The first I knew that there was a money order there was the day the police showed up to my house when he was claiming auto theft.
You mean you don't speak to your boyfriend?
Well, I work, he goes to school. There are days when we don't have words, yeah.
Well, but now you know about it, so where's the money order?
I have it.
Well, why don't you cash it then? You would have been paid. Now you know that he paid you on time.
Because there's a lot more to the story than that.
Just a minute. One thing at a time. He paid, as a matter of fact, the money order was for $151. So cash the money order and then you've been paid. That was your agreement with him, correct?
Right.
Fine.
He was supposed to pay for that car by April 2nd. It was to stay at my house parked. He had stolen license plates from Mike's Pinto and had put them on this car so he could drive it.
Well, that was terrible.
It was.
You shouldn't have done that.
Your Honor.
You shouldn't have driven the car. You had no license.
That's right.
Right?
Correct.
So, and that breached your agreement with your mother, right?
No, actually, my mother gave me permission to borrow the car.
Listen to me.
I'm sorry.
You have no license. Your mother cannot grant dispensation from state law, which says you require a license to drive. So there may be a lot more to it, but bottom line is, you lent him money for the car. That's what you were suing him for, not $1,500, because that's not what the car cost. And he's paid you.
So
you got your money back. Cash the money order.
Your Honor.
Now let's get to your counterclaim.
I think it's pertinent to address the issue of this whole reason she kept the car came and took the car from me and kept it. I got out of jail May 30th. The money wasn't originally due until April 2nd. She took the car, knew I didn't get paid until April 1st, took the car because I came forward and confessed that I knew that she asked me to help her plant drugs on my stepfather for a paternity case that she was losing, or felt she was losing.
Excuse me?
There is a custody issue with her and my stepfather.
Yes.
Over my brother.
How old is your brother?
He is 4 years old now.
Go ahead.
She asked me to help her get a stolen gun originally for her boyfriend, supposedly, that couldn't own a gun. And I said, why would he want a stolen gun? If he gets caught with it, it's even worse. So I said, what are you trying to do? She said, her husband, ex-husband, is winning the case. She feels he's wrongly winning. Help me get something that's a felony so I can get him to lose. And I helped her, and I'm ashamed of that.
How did you help her?
I called a friend that could help her get some drugs. And
what kind of drugs?
Methamphetamines.
And what'd you do with them?
They were delivered to her house. She paid for them.
Delivered to her house?
Yes. I called her the next day and said, I feel wrong about this. I can't send him to jail. I've gone to jail for stuff that I didn't do because of you. I don't want him to go to jail for this. And I came forward and told him. And she held the car against me, telling my brother, tell Brandon if he changes a statement in court that this is all a lie, that I didn't really do this, then I'll give your car back. And I haven't done so. And I located my car, went there to have it towed out of her witness's yard because I paid her for the money and extra money. I paid her the $25 she filed on me, She wanted me to repay her that. She told me, change your statement, pay me $150, which is $25 more than you actually owe me because I filed on you. It cost me $25, so pay me that.
Filed on you for what?
For the car.
You mean when she filed in small claims court?
Yeah, she wanted me to pay her that $25 back.
The fee?
Yeah, and I called the tow truck, went to go repossess my car out of the yard after it was paid for. The tow truck guy said that she won't let me on her property. I left, came back like 20 minutes later. The tow truck guy was pulling it out, said Stephanie told me to impound it as soon as I left. So they deliberately, out of spite, had it towed when I was there to remove it like 20 minutes before. This is all because I won't lie and say that she didn't do this.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Jeannie Dent says her son, Brandon Bowen, owes for the value of a car. Brandon says his mother asked him to frame her ex-husband.
Where's your $120 car?
It is at my house. I got it out of impound. I don't want the money for the car. I just wanted my car back, and I just wanted.
You have it now.
Yeah, I just wanted her to pay for the damages. She kept, the lady that had the car, her witness, kept the key. The impound people had to unlock the door and take the ignition out, and all that has to be replaced. I have estimates how much that's going to cost.
Well, how much is it going to cost?
It's going to cost, just for the locks, not including the ignition, all the locks from Chet's Locksmith is going to be $367.
Forget it. Let me explain something to you.
Okay.
I'm not giving you, sir, 3 times the cost of the car to put in a new lock.
I don't want the process of the car. I just...
No, but you understand me? The whole car cost $120.
Yeah.
You think that I'm going to order her to pay $300 and how much?
27.
$27 to put in a new lock? Forget it.
Okay.
Bottom line is, you got your money, you got your car.
Correct.
You don't like each other anymore.
I love my mom.
Well, it certainly doesn't sound like it to me. What were you in jail for, Mr. Bowen?
She alleged that I lived with her for a short period of time, and I was $50 short of paying half of her rent. She told me her new boyfriend doesn't like me. I had to leave because she had a doctor's appointment. I climbed back through my bedroom window. She came home and called the police, and her and my sister made up a story that we stole a bunch of stuff, which is not true, and I went to jail.
Just a minute. What did you go back to jail for recently in March?
That was to serve the last 4 days of the sentence for climbing through her window.
Were you the complainant on that case?
Yes, I was. He broke into my home.
I was living there at the
Which is
time.
just one of many things that have happened.
Why do you think that you would be entitled to $1,500?
Because that new contract was signed after constant badgering. He was calling my work, and every time that I would hang up on him, and he'd call back, he would hang up on my boss. My job was at risk. My boss said, this has got to stop.
That's not true.
And it was creating a problem for me. He was calling my house. You know, I'd get 7 phone calls,
child,
5 are hang-ups.
He's your child. He's your child.
Yeah.
And if you bought him a car for $120, and that's what all this fuss is about.
He's my child who's broken into my home, who's stolen money from me.
I don't understand it. Do you ever have drugs delivered to your house?
No, I did not. And I have a couple statements here. He wrote a statement first and says that the person I'm in this battle with, first he writes a statement and says that this person, Richard, is coercing him to write a statement in lieu of furniture. And he comes to me and tells me that, and I said, well, then maybe you should write that down. So he did, and I have that with me. Then he goes to Richard, the other person, and writes the statement. A couple days later, he's got furniture. Then he comes back and writes another statement and says, well, that was not true, and I recant all that, which I have also.
Sounds like you shouldn't get your child involved in your own domestic court situations, especially when the child is an adult child and doesn't have anything to do with the custody battle that you're currently involved in. Neither you or his stepfather should do that. In any event, you got your money, you got your car. Goodbye, good luck, be well.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Happy life.
He's a drug addict.
I can't believe that someone that was supposed to be my mother would actually sit here and do this and say things like this.
Enough is enough.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Foster Nelson versus Winders Burgess. Step forward, please.
17-year-old Anthony Nelson and his stepfather, 35-year-old pipefitter Scott Foster, are suing Anthony's former friend, 15-year-old James Burgess, and his mother, 41-year-old waitress Kim Winters. Anthony claims James took his quad runner without permission and flipped it.
What's your first name?
Anthony Nelson.
Well, that's your first and your second name, but it goes together. Anthony?
Yes, ma'am.
Anthony, you have some sort of a bike. What sort of bike is it?
It's a four-wheeler.
What's a four-wheeler?
It's a quad cab. It's like a motorcycle, but it's got 4 wheels.
When did you get that?
Early in January, or late January.
Do you ride it?
Yes, ma'am.
How did I know that? Did you ever have one as a child?
I had motorcycles. They didn't have them back then.
But as soon as you saw it, you had to have it.
Oh, yes.
For your son. Right? You understand that?
Yeah.
All right. Just
Guy.
I don't know if I'm disturbing you.
It's a guy. No, 3-letter word for insect.
Gotcha. According to your complaint, Anthony, the defendant, this young man, was with you one day, and you were with some other people who also had fathers who wanted these four-wheelers, who bought them for their children. And the defendant, without your permission, got on the bike, rode it, had an accident with it, and damaged it. You want him to pay, or his mother to pay. That's what this case is about.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm not exactly sure what your defense is, that he gave you permission to ride it, and the cost of fixing it was too much, but I'll get to it in a second. How many boys were you out riding with?
There was 4 of us all together, ma'am.
How many boys had bikes?
The defendant had a motorcycle, and the rest of us had four-wheelers.
So tell me what happened.
We got out of school early, and a couple of my friends and me, we wanted to go for a ride. It seemed like a nice day. We were out riding for a couple hours, and we decided to go take a break.
Was James with you at the time?
Yes, ma'am. He was one of us that was riding with us. We went back to Michael's house, my friend, to take a break. We were in his driveway talking, and the defendant got on my four-wheeler and took off in reverse without asking my permission to get on it. And we ran out after him, but he was already too far out, and you couldn't hear us because of the motor. And by then, he hit the back brake and locked up the axle and flipped the four-wheeler over. We ran out to see if he was all right. We picked the four-wheeler up, looked over it. We talked about it a little bit. He said, all right, I'll pay for the damages, and we'll go and call RTD, that's the dealership. We'll call RTD and see how much it is, and we'll handle it from there.
What parts were damaged?
The plastic was all scratched up. The front steering column was bent. The whole brake assembly was ruined. We had to replace that. It wasn't rideable. You couldn't ride it.
So you got an estimate?
Yes, ma'am.
From the place where you would purchase the bike?
Yes.
Can I see the estimate, please?
Here's a letter stating that it was in brand new condition. Here's the repair order, and here's what I actually bought so that we could continue to ride it.
Entire cost of repairing the bike is $918?
Yes, ma'am.
What's $1,027.11?
That was for my time off of work. I took a day off, or half day off when I figured we were going to court, and my labor's a lot cheaper than theirs.
Clearly.
Yeah.
Okay, let's hear you.
Ma'am, I did have permission to ride the four-wheeler. We were all sitting in the driveway. We were standing talking around. Mike just got back from riding it. Mike took it down the road, come back. I go, Anthony, can I ride it? He goes, hold on 1 minute, let it cool down. A few minutes later, I asked him. He said yes. I was backing down the driveway. I hit the rear brake, and a four-wheeler came back. I jumped to the side of the four-wheeler.
You damaged the bike, right?
Yes.
So why shouldn't you pay for it?
I feel it was equal responsibility on both parts.
Why is that?
I've had people blow my stuff up. I got a YZ 125 in '96, and I've had people blow it up, and I've always replaced everything anybody else.
Then you're a good guy. But if you borrow somebody's car and you wreck it, and unless there's insurance that covers it, it's your responsibility.
Yes.
The fact that he said that you could drive it doesn't relieve you of that responsibility. You want to say something?
Yes. The main reason we're here is from the discrepancy in what was supposed to be wrong with the four-wheeler. They went to my house, they called RTD, said it was just the clutch lever or brake lever, and it was $87.
They called and said, this looks like it's wrong with the bike, right?
Yes.
And they said, well, if that's all that's wrong with the bike, and it's $87.
Yes.
But clearly when they took the bike down there...
Can I say one more thing?
Sure, there turned out to be a lot more damage to the bike.
He came to my house, the father and the son came to my house a few weeks afterwards with an estimate of $400 and some. And he said, your son did this, will you pay it? And I said, what happened to the $87? And he got mad, upset, and I said, no, I won't pay the $400 and whatever dollars it was. So he went to go out of my driveway. He threatened my son.
He threatened to beat my, or his exact words, he goes, your ass is beat.
He threatened my son, and
That's not
at that time,
not good.
At that time, it was $400, 400 and some odd dollars.
Did you ever give them an estimate of 400 some odd
No,
dollars?
I did not, ma'am. I walked to her door to ask her to pay this damages, and her exact words. Sorry.
That's
I'm a little
not,
upset.
that's not what I'm asking you. She said that you showed her a bill at one point for $400.
No, ma'am. She wouldn't even look at it. That's the actual estimate I gave her. She wouldn't even look
Well,
at
this
it.
is dated March the 2nd, which
Correct.
is shortly after the accident.
Correct.
He must have went and got that after he left my house. What he brought to my house
What-
was 400 and some dollars.
What date did he come to your house?
You know what date it was?
I'm not exactly sure what date he come to my house, but all the kids at school knew it was $427. And then we got the statement in the mail that was that 900. It's like $1,027.
Okay. Has the bike been fixed?
I fixed the steering part so that we could ride it.
And how much did you spend on the steering?
You have the paperwork
Is that
up
the
there?
second bill?
Yes, ma'am.
$219?
Yes, I believe that's what it was.
All right. And the rest of it has not been done?
No, ma'am.
That's very, very easy. I'm entering an initial order of $219.73. And what you folks will do, since you all live in the same neighborhood, is we'll pick a date. You all go down to RTD Motorsports and satisfy yourself what the bill is. I will enter a maximum order in the amount of $918 to be held until the both of you go down and satisfy yourself what the bill is. Do you understand? Does that sound fair to you? I mean, no, it doesn't sound fair to you. He says he had permission. It's his responsibility. He wrecked the bike. And if he wants to be a good guy and take care of it when other people wreck his bikes, that's up to you. You wreck this one, it's your responsibility. The only difference is the cost of repair. And I don't think that you can exaggerate the cost of repair. You actually spent $219, that you get. Then 5 days from today, you boys make arrangements with your parents, if necessary, to go down to RTD Motors, see what it's going to cost to fix the bike for a maximum of total $918, and then the court will enter judgment in that amount. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Does that sound reasonable to you?
Yes, ma'am.
Perfect. Court will draft the order. Thank you.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
I don't believe I said that. I think I said maybe Anthony take care of him later. Yeah, I was upset.
I've had accidents. I've done it on my own four-wheeler, and my cost was never that expensive.
I'm just glad we could finally get it over with so we can go back to go riding.